All right, what's good, y'all? Been a while since I've done a video. I'm definitely gonna be uploading more. Just letting y'all know up front. School ended. Don't know how I did. Too scared to check my grades. So, yeah. um, but I'm just gonna talk about what's happened. I guess recently. I won't recap. I guess what's happened lately. But I'll just talk about what's happened recently. In the sporting world, mostly, or I guess just football and basketball. Just because those are the two sports that I've been watching the most. And I'll start with, I guess, what's going to be the title of the video. And that's going to be the Aaron Rodgers situation. So from what I have read, I guess it's just that Aaron Rodgers just doesn't want to be in Green Bay anymore. He doesn't like what the front office has done to surround him with the talent that he thinks that he needs to win, which I agree with him. I mean, after they drafted Jordan Love instead of a wide receiver, and after not even trying to trade up for a wide receiver, I think that was probably the last straw for him. And then this year, it didn't seem like they made an effort to surround him with weapons. I saw some stuff on Twitter about how Jake Kumaro was the last straw and how they didn't bring him back even though Aaron Rodgers said they wanted him back or something like that. I have a hard time believing that Jake Kumaro is the reason. But I think that was kind of that was one of the guys he had a friendship with, a bond with, and they didn't want to bring him back. Yeah, I mean, that's just, it's weird. I mean, this has been, there's three MVP level quarterbacks who have come out this offseason in the last 3-4 months who have said that they want to leave their organizations. With Wilson, Deshaun Watson, who I don't think anyone's going to want to trade for him, at least until his situation is resolved. That's also why I haven't made a video on him. I don't know exactly how to make a video without, either framing him in a good way or a bad way. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. That's why I haven't made a video on it. I'm not going to talk about it right now either. Yeah, and then with Aaron Rodgers now. As you guys know, I am a Broncos fan, and we are one of the teams that he said he's, he hasn't come out and publicly said it, but every single reputable news source has said that it's really Denver, the Raiders, and the Niners who have the best shots at him, because those are the teams that he has the most will to go to, I guess, or the most, he wants to go to the most. I understand, to my understanding, or at least in my opinion, the Niners and the Broncos are the best landing spots for him if he wants to go somewhere. Niners, I mean, they're a Super Bowl caliber team. They made it 2 years ago. Last year, I'm pretty sure, I mean, them and Denver got hit with the injury bug the hardest. I mean, San Francisco's defense got absolutely decimated. Half of them went on IR. Their offense was screwed. There was no shot they were going to be good this year. And if they're able to get Aaron Rodgers to replace Jimmy Garoppolo, and then having Aaron Rodgers be the mentor to Trey Lance for 2 or 3 years, that's as ideal as it gets for that organization. And they're built to win now. They're built for the Rodgers timeline. I mean, their defense is they're good, but a lot of them are reaching their prime, and they're going to be in their prime really, really soon with guys like Fred Warner, Jaquiski Tart, Nick Bosa, obviously Solomon Thomas. A lot of the guys who are going to be pretty good in the next couple of seasons and who already are really good right now, they're going to be in their prime when Rodgers is starting to, I guess, decline a little bit, and that's when I think they're going to be able to push Trey Lance through. But yeah, I think 49ers are a great spot for him. That's probably where he's going to be able to succeed the most, but I don't think I don't think Green Bay is going to want to trade inside the NFC because Green Bay is also a team that's built to win now. They definitely have a lot of pieces that are going to be good. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers makes those pieces better, but I think that they're still going to be able to be a playoff caliber team, and trading them in conference is not something that they're going to want to do. Which is why I think Denver's probably going to be the place where he ends up. They're probably going to be able to agree to a trade in principle and then get him after June 1st or June 2nd when his cap hit decreases significantly to 18 mil. And Denver has the most, I think, young talent in the league. I think they have the most young talent, definitely among the teams who are rumored to get him. And if they're able to get him, they're legit Super Bowl favorites, just like the Niners would be. So, this is definitely a situation that I'm going to be very closely monitoring. And yeah, like if he comes to the Broncos, man, George Payton is already solidified himself as one of the best GMs ever. I mean, him and John Elway, the way that they're able to just attract talent, I don't know how they do it. The Broncos have been terrible. They've been garbage for 5 years. Yet quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, want to come here. I don't know how. It has to be something with the front office and the organization. Just some stuff behind the scenes that goes on where they're, I don't know, maybe they're like ridiculously good people, or they just they know how to market themselves. But man, if he comes to the Broncos, I'm gonna be the happiest person alive, because being able to get an MVP level quarterback again, because his front office just screwed up surrounding him with talent, or they just chucked him to the side, chucked him to the curb. That's gonna be incredible. And a lot of Broncos fans don't want him. Well, they don't like the idea of trading for him, because of the fact that we're going to be in like the same position in 2 or 3 years when he retires or he leaves. But we're going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years if we get Aaron Rodgers. Like, no doubt about that. We have so much young talent that's under contract. We're going to be able to bring in more vets. I mean, like, it's just, I don't see how we don't win a Super Bowl, and I don't see how other Denver fans don't want him, or at least don't like the idea of trading for him. Like, you can mortgage your future for a Super Bowl. Easy. That's like a no-brainer decision. That's a no-brainer decision for the front office, too. You win a Super Bowl, you attract talent, you attract people. That's a winning organization. It's a winning culture. So, speaking of the Broncos, I guess I'll talk about their draft a little bit. I was watching with a couple friends, and I tell you what, when Patrick Surtain's name was called, we were not a happy camper, because the Aaron Rodgers news broke like 2 or 3 hours beforehand. So if Denver was drafting with the intent of trading for Aaron Rodgers, fine. But being able to have a franchise quarterback for the first time in really your franchise, I mean, like, that you yourself drafted, you can't count Elway in that. I mean, it's something that you can't really justify passing up on unless you're going to get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. And in the moment, like, you're really mad that they did that. But when you look at it, you look at the roster for Denver. I mean, in the moment, I looked at the roster and I was like, why did we draft a quarterback? Like, we don't need one. Or corner, we don't need one. Like, we have Bryce Callahan, who played at an all-pro level. He just didn't play enough games last year. We have Kyle Fuller, who 2 years ago in Vic Fangio's system was an all-pro. We signed Ronald Darby to a big contract. We drafted last year, cornerback had Michael Ojemudia. We have Isang Bassi, who's going to come back from injury. So we have a lot of corners, and then we took another one, but it's because the fact that 2 of those corners I just mentioned have only 1 year left on their contracts. Any other one is 29, is going to be declining pretty soon. I mean, 30 is the age where they say cornerbacks really start to, their prime is starting to end. So, and the thing is, Surtain was number 1 on their board. If Fields was there and Surtain wasn't, they were going to take Fields. That's what everyone was saying, which is, I guess, a little better feeling. But I did not. It's a decent move when you think about it, but being able to pass up on a guy like Justin Fields, quarterback, something that Denver has struggled to have, and something that Denver has struggled to develop for so long. Being able to get the best prospect that you're going to have a chance at in years, it's a questionable move. But Surtain is a really, really good player. I have no doubt that he's going to thrive in Fangio's system. We're going to have a great secondary. We're going to have a great defense. The draft in general for Denver was really, really good. Love the pick of Javonte Williams, especially after you lose Phillip Lindsay. You get a guy who's like ridiculously physical, ridiculously fast. He's graded really well. I love the pick of Quinn Miners. I thought he's going to be a beast. I like Lloyd Cushenberry at center, but if Miners is going to be better than him, I mean, why not take him? Or at least move him to right guard, and then I guess find a trade partner for Glasgow. I have no clue, but the fact is our offensive line is probably going to be fixed soon. Then getting the safeties, the Caden Stearns and Jamar Johnson, that was huge because Kareem Jackson's on a 1-year deal. So we beefed up on the secondary for the next 2 to 3 years. We're gonna be set at that position. And yeah, I love it. Like, I love the draft in general. Just day one was very questionable. Next, gotta talk about basketball. I gotta make this quick because I'm already at like 10 minutes. I gotta talk about the play-in, because that's been a topic of conversation among national media over the last 48 hours. Mostly because of the fact that the Lakers are in, position to be there. They won tonight, against the Nuggets, so they're in the 5th spot right now. And they got I think half a game or a game on everyone else, but they're still, they're still pretty close. They're still in danger of falling down. But man, I from the beginning, I thought that the play-in tournament is a good idea, but I think it's terribly executed. I think that the play-in tournament is a good idea if it's just 8 and 9 like it was last year, when it was Portland and Memphis, because that at least gives enough incentive to be in the playoffs. It gives enough incentive to work towards at least a 9 spot, so it's competitive down the stretch. But it's not. It doesn't just throw away the entire regular season for a couple teams. Like teams like the Lakers, who have been decimated by injury. If they get in the play-in tournament and they're not, fully acclimated to each other yet, if someone like Kyle Anderson or someone just has a crazy game against them in the play-in tournament, they're screwed. If they just have a bad game and then Kyle Anderson goes off for his career high in the play-in tournament, that Lakers don't deserve to be out of the playoffs for that. And even as a Nuggets fan, even the guy who hates the Lakers, I mean, everyone should be able to agree that that's not right. It's not good for basketball. I like the idea. I like that it keeps the regular season competitive, especially at the end of the regular season. It makes it very entertaining. I mean, this is one of the most entertaining regular season endings that we're going to have in a long time, just based on the fact that who's going to play who's going to be in the seedings. But man, it's just, it is really, really just terribly executed. 7 through 10 was not a good idea. I don't think that's a great idea at all, because being in the 7th spot, maybe 8 to 10, sure, but 7 to 10, no way. 7 to 10, it's too many. It's too big of a field, to realistically have. I don't like that, and it's not just because the Lakers or a big market team is in there. It's just the fact that there's going to be a situation like this where the Lakers are just crazy injured and they're going to have to play a team, and if that team catches fire, they're going to knock them out. It's just dumb. It's just really stupid to me. Yeah. I mean, that's all I can say about it right now, but I like the idea that it makes it competitive, but I don't think it was executed well at all by the NBA. So yeah. Last topic, I'm going to talk about the MVP. So, I'm a Nuggets fan. I obviously think Jokic is the MVP. I think most of the media has made up their mind that I guess Jokic is the MVP, but there's still a couple people who are trying to push someone else into the conversation, and it's really annoying. It's just Jokic has been in the conversation from the beginning. Jokic has been the leader since probably mid-March. I think when Embiid and LeBron went down with injuries, there's no other good candidate besides him. I mean, everyone else has missed too many games. Stats are there, production's there, records there. Especially with the injuries that Jokic's team has sustained. I mean, even tonight, PJ Dozier went out. Nuggets are without their top 4 guards for a while. Monte Morris said he's going to come back soon, but still, that's Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, PJ Dozier, Will Barton. That's your top 4 rotational guards out. And you have to play people who probably won't play in the playoffs, like a guy like Shaq Harrison and Austin Rivers, 2 guys you just signed off the street a couple weeks ago. They're going to end up getting legit playoff minutes. And on most other rosters in the playoffs, especially this high up in the standings in the Western Conference, they wouldn't play. And it's just the fact that Jokic's team is there, the fact that the Nuggets are that high up, I feel like it's just pretty obvious that he's the MVP. Being able to raise his team ceiling that far with the talent that they have is just, I think that it's pretty obvious. And I think it's okay to have other people in the conversation to be on the ballot for MVP, but I think that the case is closed as to who is going to win the award. I think the case closed about 2 weeks ago. So I just, Kendrick Perkins today put out a video and he said, I get a lot of people are saying Jokic is the clear-cut front runner. He's not. It's Chris Paul. No. I get that they're having a resurgent season, but the Suns were set to break out. Last season was supposed to be their year where they made the playoffs. Obviously, they went 8-0 in the bubble, but you look at how they played during the regular season. When they were fully healthy, they were really good. A lot of people seem to forget that DeAndre Ayton got suspended for like a third of the year, especially in a shortened season like last year's. He got hurt for or he was suspended for a third of the year, so they were playing Aaron Baines starting center for a while, and that's just not going to be a recipe for success. And like, I get Chris Paul definitely raises the ceiling of your team, he raises the floor of your team, but they were set to break out regardless of whether Chris Paul was going to be there or not. They were going to be in the playoffs regardless of whether Chris Paul was there or not. Chris Paul is not the best player on the team. Why are you pushing his MVP? It just makes no sense. Like, just at least try to create media attention, at least have good reasoning behind it. Same thing with Steph Curry. Like, yeah, he's having a crazy season, and he's leading the league in scoring. He's having like an absurd amount of threes. But his team is the 10th seed, or the 8th seed now, because they won and Memphis and San Antonio lost. But, like, they're not a good team. And if people were discrediting Jokic for winning MVP because his team was lower in the standings, but now they're claiming that Curry should win because of how good he's been and how bad his team is, then you're not watching basketball. You're just pushing a narrative to create media attention, which I just think is really, really dumb. You should be pushing a narrative to say why someone else is the MVP when they actually are the MVP. And it's really a big market thing, I think. Just having to push people in there. Like, I know Julius Randle's getting a lot of MVP buzz, and rightfully so. I mean, there should be in contention. I think Julius Randle should definitely be on the ballot. I think Chris Paul should definitely be on the ballot. He should be a top 5 candidate. But to have him as the favorite for MVP, it's just stupid and it's disrespectful. So, again, I'm definitely going to upload more. Definitely going to talk about more things in the future, in the foreseeable future. Definitely, school's out. I don't have as much responsibility. So yeah, expect more on the way if you're still watching after 18 minutes. So yeah, see y'all later. Peace.